everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be talking about the materials that you will need to start sublimating. If you guys don't know what sublimation is, check out my other video where I go into detail about what sublimation is. First and foremost, you will need a sublimation printer. However, I know that sublimation printers are expensive, so there is an alternative. All you have to do is buy an Epson Workforce printer or an Epson EcoTink printer and just put sublimation ink in. Once you have your printer, you will need paper. Now, there's different kinds of paper, but the brand that I like to use is called A-Sub. And I like to use the 8.5 by 11 size. I also use the 8.5 by 14. There's also 11 by 17 and 13 by 19. The good thing about the printer that I have, which is right there, the printer that I have, that one takes all sizes up to 13 to 19. So that's what I love about that printer. That printer, I actually got it at epson.com, but there's other places that you guys can get it from. Yes, I think they also have it in like Office Depot. They also have it in like Office Max. Amazon, I think, has it too. I got mine for like $200. I don't know if it's more, but I think it's still $200. So just be on the lookout. They do sell out really fast. So what I did was I went to Epson and I just typed in for them to notify me when they were available. And as soon as I got the email, I ordered it right away. I wasted no time because within the hour or two, I believe they sold out. Just make sure that you're on the lookout. As soon as you guys get that notification, buy it because they sell out. The paper, I got it from Amazon. I feel like Amazon is the cheapest place to get most of this stuff from. So the majority of my stuff is from Amazon. Another thing that I use is heat tape. You will need heat tape. I know people who don't use heat tape. I like to use heat tape because when you press, sometimes the design moves, and if it moves, it creates a shadow, and that's not cute. So I use heat tape. And I bought 2 rolls and I think it was like $8. So it's really inexpensive. The first thing that you guys have to do before you guys put the design on the shirt is lint roll it. Before you even pre-press it, you have to lint roll it, because if you don't lint roll it, all of that lint that's on the shirt will get pressed, and sometimes it looks like little like dots, but it's just the lint that didn't get removed. It does not look good. It's not a professional look, especially if you're selling these shirts. So just make sure that you lint roll. Another thing that you can use is a measure tape. I use these because I like to measure my design to make sure it is nice and centered. Another thing that you can do to make sure that your shirt is nice and centered is just fold the shirt in half. Another thing that I use that I highly recommend you guys need to have is some butcher tape. I know some people that use wax paper. I haven't tried it with wax paper. I rather use butcher tape because with me it works beautifully. But you need butcher tape because you don't want ink to stay on the top of your heat press. So you will most definitely need to have something on top so that it doesn't bleed. So I use butcher paper, which I also got from Amazon. Another thing that you guys can use, you don't have to, but you can. I bought this gun, this heat gun from Amazon. And the reason why I bought it is because sometimes the printers, they try to be funny and they display a temperature, but that's not the temperature that actually is. So just double check, because when it comes to sublimation, it has to be at 400 degrees, no less, definitely no less. If you want your design to have a long lasting impression, it has to be at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And a heat gun can help you to make sure that it's at that temperature. Another thing that I highly recommend that you guys will need is these. I use these pillow pads, but I mean, you guys can just put butcher paper, but you have to have something in between the shirts. And that's because you don't want the ink that's being put on this side of the shirt to bleed through the back. At first, when I didn't use the pressing pillow, one of the things that I noticed was that this side was like beautifully vibrant colors and everything, and this side, the colors were a lot more dull. And I'm assuming that it was because it didn't have like an even press. So that's something to keep in mind. That's why I use these pressing pillows. I also got these from Amazon. The butcher paper I got from Amazon. Pretty much got all of this stuff from Amazon. Amazon is my go-to place. Last but definitely not least is the shirts. You guys are going to need the shirts. One of the things that I do want you guys to be careful is that sublimation shirts cannot be 100% cotton. The shirts have to be 65% polyester or more. They have to have a 65% count of polyester or higher. So I personally like to use 100% polyester because the colors are just a lot more vibrant when it's 100%, but that's up to you. I love this brand right here, you guys. It is called the Jerseys. These shirts, you guys can get them at jiffyshirts.com. There's a lot of different websites that you guys can get these from. Just Google the Jerseys 100% polyester shirts and they will pop up. There's also different ones. I know Bella & Canvas has some shirts that are 65% and higher. Those work as well. There's a lot of different shirts. I think Gildan also has some that are higher polyester count specifically for sublimation. Those work as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of options out there. Just make sure that you guys do your research and make sure that the polyester count is higher than the cotton count and you're good to go. So these are all the materials that I use when I sublimate my shirts. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please comment them down below. I reply back to all my comments. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time.